What would you do if you lost $96 billion overnight? Sounds unimaginable, doesn't it? Imagine the shockwaves when Google, the tech giant we all know and rely on, faced this exact scenario. This monumental loss, known as the Gemini fallout, was an overnight event that sent ripples through the financial world. The term Gemini fallout refers to a massive devaluation event, a situation where the perceived value of a company or asset takes a nosedive. It's a scenario that would make anyone shudder, but for Google, it was a bitter reality. Now, let's rewind the clock and take a trip down memory lane to see how it all led up to this massive loss. Picture this. Google, the tech giant we all know and love, decided to make a bold, perhaps even audacious move. They chose to invest heavily in the ambitious Gemini project. This was not your typical investment. It was a gamble, a leap of faith into the unknown. Despite warnings from experts about potential risks, Google was buoyed by its past successes and the allure of pioneering a new frontier. As we delve deeper into the timeline, we find that the Gemini project, at its inception, was hailed as a game changer. A project that was supposed to revolutionize the tech industry and cement Google's status as the undisputed champion of innovation. The stakes were high, the rewards even higher. Google, undeterred by the naysayers, decided to go all in. Fast forward a bit, and we see that Google's enthusiasm for Gemini started to wane as warning signs began to surface. Reports of technical glitches, operational setbacks, and escalating costs started to cast a shadow over the project. Yet Google, in a classic case of sunk cost fallacy, continued to pour resources into the project, hoping to turn the tide. However, the tide refused to turn. The Gemini project, once a beacon of hope, had now become a Pandora's box of problems. Each passing day brought new challenges, escalating costs, and diminishing returns. What was initially seen as a road bump soon turned into a mountain of issues. Despite the mounting problems, Google remained steadfast, hoping against hope that the project would succeed. But as we all know, hope is not a strategy. The project continued to falter, and with it, Google's fortunes started to dwindle. The final nail in the coffin came when the Gemini project was officially declared a failure. The news sent shockwaves through the industry. Google's gamble had not paid off. The tech giant had lost an astonishing $96 billion in value. And so the stage was set for the biggest financial disaster in Google's history. In the aftermath of the fallout, Google found itself in crisis mode. The tech giant was left reeling as the value of the company took a tremendous hit, plummeting by $96 billion. Shareholders, the pillars of Google's financial foundation, found themselves in an unsteady landscape, their trust shaken. It was a seismic shift that left no stakeholder unaffected. At the helm of the ship during this storm was Google's CEO. In the face of disaster, he stepped up to tackle the crisis head-on. His initial response was a mixture of transparency and reassurance. He communicated openly about the situation, acknowledging the loss and expressing his commitment to navigating the company through these choppy waters. The CEO's strategy was not just about damage control, but also about restoring investor confidence. He outlined a roadmap for recovery, a plan designed to rebuild and regain what was lost. This involved reinforcing the company's core values, reiterating its commitment to innovation, and ensuring the highest standards of corporate governance. The CEO emphasized on the resilience of Google, its ability to learn from setbacks and emerge stronger. His message was clear. Google was down, but definitely not out. He rallied his team, encouraged them to view this as a challenge, not an end. His leadership shone through, a beacon of hope in an otherwise dark time. In the face of adversity, Google's leadership was put to the ultimate test. In every crisis, there's a lesson to be learned. Dwelling on Google's $96 billion loss, it's clear that this story offers some valuable insights. The journey to the loss, the aftermath, and the damage control, each phase underscores a vital lesson. Firstly, the importance of risk assessment cannot be overstated. It's like the compass guiding a ship in a storm, charting out the safest path amid turbulent waters. Without it, even the mightiest of corporations can find themselves veering off course. Secondly, ignoring warnings can have catastrophically expensive repercussions, as Google's experience demonstrates. Warnings serve as our first line of defense, a chance to reevaluate and adjust our strategy before it's too late. Lastly, strong leadership in crisis management is essential. When the ship is sinking, a decisive and confident captain can rally the crew, boost morale, and navigate the way to safer waters. So the next time you find yourself facing a tough decision, remember Google's $96 billion loss. It just might save you from a regrettable mistake.